Nah, claps in the comments section. Claps in the comments section. Yo, shout out to Rep Anna Paulina Luna, cause she's been going harder than Tory's family member. Born like Megan's worst nightmare out of nowhere, like a new character.
Representative APL, it's good to have you.
Thanks, Chris. Happy to be back on. And thanks for taking a look at this case.
No, listen, you tell me to take a look at it, I'll look at it. But why did you look at it? I mean, this isn't your jurisdiction. I don't know you to have any connection to any of these people.
Yeah, so as you know, we are on oversight and accountability, and so this case was actually initially flagged for me by Amber Rose, and the reason why I took particular interest in it is because of the fact that they actually had evidence that they presented to me in my office that actually disproved the conviction. So as you stated earlier, that 0.01% of DNA, they actually found 4 people's DNA on that firearm, none of which was Tory's. Not to mention there was 0 fingerprints on the actual magazine, and also too, as you said, 0.01% chance. I mean, that evidence in itself should pretty much speak for itself. Also, there's been ring footage that's been obtained that actually disproves the whole dance, Megan. And so what we're saying is really there was a case of he said, she said. The evidence wasn't actually respected and properly adhered to actually in the trial. And then they also were doing something that I would find pretty wild and egregious. They were actually submitting his lyrics for rap as evidence to the crime. So look, first and foremost, you have to have a free and fair society. That means we need to respect and uphold the justice system. So I actually reached out today to Gavin Newsom's office, and we are requesting an emergency meeting. We're also working with other Democrats, specifically to the California delegation. But I think that this is something that's pretty egregious, that the way that this was handled, the way that it was. I think that it was largely driven by headlines. And aside from the people involved and the parties involved, obviously I take domestic violence, I take this very seriously, Chris, but I also take very seriously the fact that I do believe, based on the evidence that I've seen, that Tory's innocent. And I think that it's such a really bad message when you have someone of his stature and also to someone that is as influential as he is that's being wrongfully incarcerated. And that's exactly why we wanted to use our megaphone for a good reason and help get him his pardon, which I think he'll get.
So Luna, who did it? I mean, she says and her friends say that he did it. And who else would have done it? And what proof do you have to support that? I get maybe they didn't make the case the right way with the weapon, but who did it?
You know, Chris, that's not for me to weigh in, and that's definitely for the judge and the jury. But what I will tell you is based on the evidence that we have. The evidence that we have says that he wasn't the guy. And so I do think that Gavin Newsom has some great attorneys that will look at this. But I'd also like to point out that the prosecutor specifically on this case that initially brought the charges is a very interesting prosecutor. Look into who ran him. And at the end of the day, you know, I think Hollywood, as you know, Chris, and politics does overlap. And there's a lot of interesting stuff that happened there. So look at the evidence for yourself. We've posted it for the entire world to see, to determine for themselves. And I know that Tory's legal team actually has an incredible case. And so we are calling on Gavin Newsom to issue that pardon immediately. And also remember, he was almost killed in jail. I actually talked to him today on the phone, and he said that once he does get out, once he does get this pardon, which I do feel confident that he'll be getting, he's going to work extensively in prison reform, because this should never happen to anyone.
They thought they beat the game. It was over. They're like, who's your best opponent? Amber Rose? Even though shout out to Amber, because Amber really been holding it down. And shorty right here, Anna Paulina, I believe wouldn't even be a part of this if it wasn't for Amber Rose. So shout out to Amber Rose. I also saw Amber was shouting out Tory and telling people to look more into it today on the news. Fire. Shout out to Amber Rose. I love what she's doing for the boy. I can't lie.
Oh, that's okay.
Why you are advocating for Tory Lanez?
I'm advocating for Tory Lanez because the evidence shows that he's innocent, and he deserves to be pardoned by Governor Gavin Newsom. You know, he's 100% exonerated from the gun, and for that alone, he should be home with his family.
Well, the DNA showed that it could have been any of 4 people, but he sent the text apologizing, and Megan Thee Stallion and her friend Kelsey there that night said it was him. What do you do with that?
Well, I heard the whole story from Tory's mouth. He called me personally from prison, and I now understand why he said sorry, and it's not for any shooting at all. So I'll let him tell that story when he comes home, but the sorry was not for what people think it was.
But yo, Rep Anna Paulina Luna jumped into this, and she's been giving the ops a countdown. She's been like, yo, just give us 36 hours. I swear that was 72 hours ago, but she's been saying that already for some time. Just give us 36 hours. I gave her a holiday day because of Memorial Day. I don't think she did her math right. Lord, look, with the videos that started releasing today and the evidence that started releasing today, nah, it's looking crazy. Only thing that I'm a bit confused with, because it says glass or gunshots. New video shows Megan Thee Stallion injured at the scene, claiming she was cut by glass, not shot. The video shows the broken glass and her bloody footprint beside it. Officers on site confirmed she stepped on glass. So why did the story change late? Well, 3 hours ago. I'm excited. I haven't seen none of this. I'm excited. So we got to start running through this. My only thing though as a Tory Lanez supporter is, what story are we sticking with? Did Kelsey shoot her or did she step on glass? Because I'm seeing evidence coming out that Kelsey had the gun, Tory tried to take it out of her hand, the shots went off in the air, which is always the story that I kind of side. Then we saw the glass come out of the police vehicle. That footage was released a couple months ago. When she steps out, you hear the crunching of the glass. Then we see that guy that spoke during Tory Lanez's father was there, and they were sharing more evidence, I would say about a week or 2 ago. And he said that he spoke to Kelsey's bodyguard and he overheard Kelsey saying that she shot Meg. So now I'm confused. Are we going with that evidence or are we going with the glass evidence? If I'm a jury, that's definitely going to confuse me.
How long ago Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others, and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun.
But let's not waste time. Let's start going through these videos, and then we'll start going through the different posts that she put. Like she put a timeline right here. Meg, because remember, they said on the stand, we never fought. No. Meg's like, I never fought Kelsey. You never fought Kelsey. All right, we about to see about it. But Tory Lanez was convicted on a flawed, incomplete story of a full contradictions, missing evidence, and straight up lies. Police reports, Megan's own word, and experts analysts show Tory Lanez didn't fire the gun. If anything, he tried to stop the conflict. The never before seen outlined in the thread proves that Tory Lanez deserves a pardon from California governor. Read the thread and visit 36 hours later for an even more comprehensive breakdown. Yo, 36hourslater.com. I told you, she kept saying 36 hours. She kept saying 36 hours. Breakdown of the true, a glass or gunshot. All right, let's go through this first. Then we're going to visit 36hourslater.com. Pardon NBA Youngboy and Larry Hoover. I'm like, yeah, I knew them Drake tears on that stage was not going to waste because Drake was crying. Free Larry Hoover event, which is hilarious. But nah, Donald, you left one in there. You left one dude in there that we needed. But I think it's just because my homie's not American. I didn't want to say it, but it's because my boy's from the dot, bro. It breaks my heart. July 12th.
As long as you guys cooperate with us and you guys tell us what happened, we'll go accordingly, okay? But if you guys are not telling us, if you guys are, then I don't think... I really cannot go to jail. Okay. I cannot have that on my image. Okay. So how did that happen to you? Glass. Glass? Where? Where we were coming from. I'm not from here, so I... Okay. I didn't get shot. Oh, you did it? Oh, man. I mean, no, sir.
And again, to give her a little bit of bail is her excuse on why she didn't say she got shot was because she was already scared, which I'm assuming with all these cops, everything, you're bleeding from the foot, I would be nervous too. So she didn't want to snitch on Tory because she was scared and she was trying to protect the black man. Even though, you were trying to protect yourself because you was also there. And now that you're not at the scene, it's like, all right, cool, let me tell you, that little man shot. Because the story changed quick. Glass. Earlier footage that came out a couple months ago, barefoot. And allegedly that glass was a bottle that rolled out the vehicle. That's all the floor. Bottle right there, you heard it. I've never seen the footprints before. The first one we saw was just the beginning. Get out with your hands up. As soon as she steps on the glass, the video. A glass bottle on the floor. It looks like a Casamigos bottle, maybe, if I gotta guess. And maybe that looks like a cell phone there. And a bloody foot there. And you can see it reflecting as she steps on it. Watch. Keep your eye over there and also keep your ears open. As soon as she stepped, if she was bleeding, you originally see her step there, now. You saw her originally step back there first. There's no blood on the floor. Adrenaline, her being so scared, she didn't scream or anything. One last time. It's not a little weird to you if she was already shot, then they got back in the car. Keep your eye on that section. Look how close that is to the vehicle, right? When she originally steps, and then watch after she steps, blood starts after that. Look. Magically, there's no blood at all until the sidewalk. Magically, there's no blood at all. Down, she even stands up. She even stands up right there. Standing up, there's gonna be blood. So the blood doesn't start until right about on that. That's when the blood trails start. I'm just saying that's something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. The video right here is them searching inside the vehicle.
Shooting or anything? That's how we got dispatched.
Well, we have the gun here, and then we have other units. They're searching the house where.
I do want to say though. Why is there blood on the suitcase inside the vehicle? Is that blood on the suitcase? That looks like blood to me, no? That does look like blood on the suitcase. That does look like blood on the suitcase inside the vehicle. Hold on, my fault for stopping that. I just peeped that right now. I haven't seen it. I'm watching this with y'all.
Any evidence of any shooting or anything? That's how we got dispatched.
Well, we have the gun here, and then we have other units. They're searching the house where it happened. So that's all we have so far.
So nothing happened in this vehicle.
No, we don't have any casings. No.
Okay, from what you've been told.
And then there's some cash over. Looks like.
Was the person who got caught with the other people here that you have in handcuffs? Were they all together?
They were all together.
Yes, they were all in the same car.
Okay. And then, do we know how she got cut?
I believe when she stepped down, there's a glass.
She dropped a glass bottle, and then I think she stepped on it and cut herself, getting out of the vehicle.
Okay. So her friends didn't cut her then.
Right.
Well.
Exactly what we just said. I had to add the word allegedly because I forgot exactly where I heard that the bottle rolled out of the vehicle as she was stepping outside of the vehicle. The bottle breaks on the floor. She steps on it, cuts her foot while we see the blood out. In one of her stories as well that Tory was like in the passenger seat or something, leaned out and was screaming, "Dance, B.I." If you're shooting, even if you're outside the vehicle, if you're leaning outside of it, it's not, I don't know if you've ever been to a gun range before, but I got a 9mm that I'm always shooting and I walk around. If you're shooting, things are not gonna just fly perfectly and fall right to the left of you, bro. Them shits fly to the left, to the right. Sometimes they fly back. There's times that, and they're hot as hell. I was gonna say there's sometimes they're hot. No, they're always hot, because there's times that I shot a 38 before and I've got hit with shells at the gun range when you're letting that shit sit. Powder to shell casing something. The only thing I want to know is why is there blood in the suitcase? The fact that they're not making it an assumption, I'm not sure if it's something that she walked by after, touched after, I'm not too sure. They got Meg in the hospital. Nah, this is crazy. Nah, this is crazy. Hold on, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, this is not HIPAA. Like, this is not HIPAA. Us looking at Meg Thee Stallion in the hospital, I don't know exactly how that works, but you hear it right there as well, sticking to the same story that she stepped on glass. The only thing that works in her evidence is that she came out on live that day and told us, oh, the only reason I said all that day was because I was protecting. The only thing that goes against her is, why would you be saying that because you're trying to protect him? We just watched you step on glass. You didn't say it to protect him. You literally stepped on glass. We just watched it right now. And my biggest point is, if she was already bleeding, why is there no blood on the side of the vehicle? Why is there no blood inside the vehicle? Because it's not like she got shot and they were standing right there. Remember, they get back in the vehicle after she was shot. Why is there no blood in the passenger seat? None of this makes sense. So then Rep. Anna Paulina posts timeline contradicts Megan's story. Megan claims she only spoke out in response to Tory, but the timeline proves she went public first, which is what I always said. She said on live, the only reason she said Tory did it, Tory was trying to drag her on his side because he came out publicly. That's not true at all. That's not true at all. Megan claims she only spoke out in response to Tory, but the timeline proves she went public first. Why try to blame Tory when the real timeline doesn't back her up? Receipts don't lie. She spoke out first to spin the narrative. So we see 7/15/20, which this is just, what, 3 days after the situation, because the body cam says 7/12. The narrative that is being reported about Sunday's morning event are inaccurate, and I would like to set the record straight. On Sunday morning, I suffered gunshot wounds as a result of a crime that was committed against me and done with the intention to physically harm me. I was never arrested. The police officers drove me to the hospital where I underwent surgery to remove the bullet. I'm incredibly grateful to be alive and that I'm expected to make a full recovery. Shorty, what you mean expected to make a full recovery? This is 3 days later. What, you thought you was gonna die? You thought you was gonna die off that? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. But the gunshot wound cannot kill you off a graze unless at the hospital. It's not like it went through her foot. It's not like he shot her with a big caliber bullet and it made a hole in her foot or something and she was gonna bleed out. You're not from a scrape and she's shocked that she's gonna make a full recovery. It's hilarious. But it was important for me to clarify the details about the traumatic night. I'm currently focused on my recovery so I can return back to my life and back to my music. Megan names Daystar to police on 7/16/20. Again. Now, this is 4 days after we saw the body cam. Megan goes live on Daystar's birthday, 7/27/20. Megan Thee Stallion emotional IG live about Tory Lanez situation. Megan publicly names Daystar as the shooter, which this is the live that I remember. Then we see on 9/24, which is the first time Tory Lanez has even spoke about this event, which is 2 months and some days after everything happened. Bro, she was talking 3 days later. I don't like the story that's being spun. Shorty, we haven't even got enough time to make a story. To my fans, I'm sorry for my silence, but respectfully, I got time today, 9 p.m. Pacific. Daystar spoke on IG Live to respond to Meg Thee Stallion. Bro, he responds to her live literally 2 months later. She spoke on 8/20, he spoke on 10/20. And that's when he said that he wanted to come out before, but Roc Nation told him it was in his best interest to not do that, if you guys recall.
The facts of the juice of Tory Lanez going to jail and this, that, and the third, and Megan getting arrested and da-da-da-da. 2 days after that, I get a call from Roc Nation that says, yo, we heard you're going to make a statement about what happened, and it'd be in your best interest if you don't make that statement. So I'm like, oh, okay. I don't understand what the issue of me telling my fans, like, yo, look, it's not that serious of a deal. I went to jail for whatever. It's like, I didn't get for that 2 days why that was an issue. 2 days later, the TMZ report come out. TMZ reports and have the surveillance now. Now they see the video of the arrest. You see Megan, you see me, and you see it's all sprawled out on the ground in bathing suits and blah, blah, blah. And everything I'm saying is public record. You can go back and look at this shit. You can go back and see it. Like, you feel me? So they say, oh, okay, you know, you see her out of the car. She's getting out of the car. She's hopping. It looks bad, bro. And I'm not going to lie. Like, I felt bad watching it because it made her look bad. And it didn't make her look good. It didn't make any of us look good. And I didn't want that for her. I don't see that for anybody. So all of a sudden, when we get arrested, or when it looks like we all got arrested, the memes start. Now I want to really bring you guys in for a second so you can understand something. And I really just want you to take this in. Like, she is a person I spent enough time with her to observe and understand something about her, where it's like, she's going through a lot. She goes through a lot. She deals with a lot on her day-to-day basis. And because of that, she's not used to, you know, and not even just because of that, but just because of the fact that she's been praised so much. We've always looked at her as like, yo, that's hip-hop sweetheart. Like, she's nice, she's talented, whatever the case is, cool. And because of that, like, we've never seen a moment where the memes have come at her, where the memes are like, yo, nigga, let's laugh at your pain. Ah, ha, 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 ha. She's never had to deal with that because she's always been praised. So everything that's been happening has been a reaction off of what's been going on. So it gets down to this point now where it's like, now the reports are starting to say, okay, well, everyone's pointing to different things. No one really knows what's happened, but nobody has ever said she got shot. Nobody has ever said she got shot. Not TMZ, not the police report at this point. Nothing is saying that she got shot. Soon as she sees herself on video with the bikini and the things like that, and it looks bad, she then comes out and says, yo, the narrative of me getting cut by glass, it's just not true. She doesn't point at nobody or anybody or say anything or anything like that. She just says the narrative that whatever came out of me being cut by glass is not true. I was shot in my feet with the intention to harm me and put harm and danger upon me, right? So, okay, cool. Like, all of a sudden, the affiliates of her circle start pointing like little subliminal fingers, like count your days and like I won't be around and he's shooting at feet and like little funny things that they start doing. And I'm kind of like, damn, hold on, where are y'all about to take this? Because y'all told me not to make a statement, so I'm trying to figure out where y'all taking me to. I don't get it. So then at this point she goes live because people are not really understanding the story or whatever cases. She waits. She doesn't go on, you know, a time when it's just a regular time. For y'all who don't understand, it was one of those things where me and her knew what was going on, but y'all didn't know what was going on. She went live on my birthday and then she says, yo, you know, and the thing about the whole jury thing is like, my bad. She knew that it wasn't a situation where, like, she knew she had to do certain sympathetic things, I guess, to push the narrative. And I don't know who told her to do certain things like that. And I'm not the one who's trying to, like, ever point the finger at anybody. But when it really comes down to it, it's like, you went on live on your birthday, and then you said, on my birthday, and then you said, I got shot in my foot, and it didn't hit no bones or tendons. So everybody's looking at this, and again, the internet is a sick place. This is a place where people don't give a fuck about you. They do what they do. They antagonize and they do what they do. You go in and you see you get shot in your foot, no bones or tendons. The internet goes into an outrage because some people are like, hold on, how you not get shot? How you get shot in your foot and it don't hit no bones or tendons? Like, whoever is watching this, like, if you need to go on Google and look at a foot anatomy of bones and skeletons and tendons, you realize there's like 30 bones in your feet and like 100 tendons, some crazy number like that, right? So she now gets to this place where the people are like, hold on, and again, the internet is sick. The internet starts coming at her and saying, yo, show your feet. Because we're seeing you at DJ Khaled's house and you're on your tippy toes. And then we're seeing that you're, you know, that you're here and there. And they're antagonizing her. They're brutally coming for her and not giving her, I guess, what it is that she needed. But it gets to this point where Now, she posts a picture of a foot. And she posts this picture of a foot. There's no exit wound. There's a lot of inconsistencies in the story. And she says under the post, you see, I got shot in the back of my foot because when I was walking away from the car, she says she puts this in capital letters. She says, I was walking away from the car and I got shot in the back of my foot. She doesn't ever show the other foot that she claims she got shot in. And I'm not trying to, again, I hate that this is coming off like I'm trying to come for her and whatever cases, but this is what I'm having to endure and watch when I'm knowing certain facts. So it gets to, it gets to this place where I'm just like, bro, like this is not me, and I don't deserve this. Like I don't deserve to have to go through this. Like I never have been somebody who's had domestic cases. I've never hit no woman. I've never had abusive cases with no woman. You can't pull those type of facts up on me. I don't have those. So it's like I just didn't understand why I'm going through this. So now it gets to this point where she posts this picture of her foot and everyone's seeing certain things and everyone's, saying certain things about her foot. And some people think it's real. Some people don't think it's real. And it gets to this place where some people are just not believing it.
Nothing negative as this. This is why I don't want to say nothing in the first place. This would have never came out if Tory would have never went to the internet telling everybody his side of the story. When did Tory tell us his side? Because I didn't want to say anything in the first place. So not only did I not say anything, but now you want to get ahead of it and make yourself look like you're the victim. Why you did not want to say anything in the first place? Asked and answered the court. I think we covered that. What was your plan when this first happened as far as what you could say? I wasn't going to say anything. I didn't want it to go anywhere. I was embarrassed. He wasn't that embarrassed because 3 days later you got over being embarrassed. I know you told the police that you stepped on broken glass about 4 days later. Did you come forward to the police and tell them you were shot? Yes. And what was that to a detective? Yes. In those 4 days, what brought about the change of heart? I had a change of heart because I saw online that he had tried to start getting ahead of the story and put on a bunch of different narratives about what happened. So how did that make you feel? Shorty, you are capping for somebody that didn't fight. Now, this is Kelsey. Megan and Kelsey fought. Megan claims I never put my hands on anybody. I do remember that. But eyewitness and physical evidence confirms a fight between Megan Pete and Kelsey Harris. Kelsey had open wound and cuts actively bleeding. Tory Lanez, no injuries. Let's stop pretending Tory was the aggressor. Bro, her shirt is ripped. She's bleeding from her leg. She's bruised, if I remember, on her backside, because I believe I saw these photos before. Damn, she got the yams. We're seeing her foot bleeding, too. My fault. Let me stop being I'm over here just staring at this picture. Hold on. Let's keep going. My fault. Got my nigga Mighty Mouse in the cut. No scratches, nothing on Tory. We don't see anything on Tory Lanez. Rest in peace. Yeah, nigga, to your freedom. That's crazy. That's crazy to allegedly get shot by somebody, though, wearing rest in peace shorts. Like, nah, this nigga's really going to do it. He was prepared. Bro, no scratches on his back, nothing. And Tory Lanez is little compared to Meg Thee Stallion. And even weight-wise. She would have picked that boy up like she was about to breastfeed him. Okay, and did you state that that intentionally you saw the two girls fighting? I did, yes. This is Sean Kelly, right? Megan said there was a witness. Correct. His name was Sean Kelly. And he told the police and testified under oath that he saw two women fighting in the street. He said one woman fired the first shots while Tory was still in the car. Tory got out afterwards and tried to take away the gun. That's directly from the only independent witness. Yet the state failed to call him. Ask yourself why. Did you say that after you saw the two girls fighting, you saw one of the girls shoot, sir? I believe so. But thereafter, did you say that the shooter guy got involved at that point, trying to take away the gun? Mr. Bott, conjunction, leading to the court overruled. Is that what you said? The witness, yes. Nah, that's crazy. Nah, I'm telling you, America literally gonna put whoever in prison they want. Because this can't be the criminal justice system we're all a part of. Is it because my boy's not American? Is that the issue? That he's not American? I need to know. Okay, did you state, sir, that that the shooter gentleman did not come out of the car until the initial shot firework has started? Yes. Excuse me? Yes. So when the initial shot or firework has started, Isn't it true that you stated that my client was still in the car? Yes, I believe so. The shooter gentleman was in the car. Yes. Brother, it looked like Megan was getting the best of Kelsey. It looked like she was getting the best of Kelsey. Shirt ripped, leg bleeding, blood on the foot. Bang, bang, bang. She took out her weapon and tried to protect herself.
The doors of the Escalade open and the girl come out and pull open the passenger door and started screaming and yelling at somebody in the car.
So the girl who came out of the passenger, you're talking about the front passenger?
No, the rear.
The rear passenger. So the girl comes out of the rear passenger and she goes to the front passenger?
Yes.
And she opens up the car door?
Yes.
And then what happens?
They're screaming and shouting at each other and they start fighting.
The two girls?
Yeah, I can see one like feet coming out trying to kick her and the other one's fighting and then the passenger gets out.
So the girl who does the punching and the kicking is the girl that comes out of the back passenger?
Can we stop there? Because I don't want to. I'll tell you, and then I want to get my son's on his own.
Yeah, I understand. And it's loud with the cars.
I don't really want to. So basically, the car stopped. The girl in the back got out, started screaming, shouting, ripped the door, pulled the door open, but pulled it so sort of viciously. That's why I presume the driver got out. She starts screaming. She starts hitting the girl. The girl on the passenger side, her feet come out. She starts to kick the girl away. Passenger. They get out, they start fighting here, they start fighting. The driver comes around and tries to sort of break it up. It gets a bit more violent. And between them, the girl then climbs back into the front driver passenger seat.
Where's the shorter black guy?
He's in the back.
He's in the back of the car? Okay.
He's in the back of the vehicle. Free my boy today. Free my boy today. Oh my God, I'm the worst. I'm the worst because I want to stop pointing fingers. This case, I'm seeing everybody getting pardoned. But Tory Lanez, this is crazy. When this case is proven, he said it right there. This is Sean Kelly. Sean Kelly then goes and meets, if you guys remember from Tory Lanez's father explaining, he goes and meets with Rock Nation's people and his story magically changes from what he saw that night. Even though this is fresh from what we're hearing. Also, was this played in court? I don't recall if it was.
In this Los Angeles County and witness the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes. Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men. And you're still doing it. Amen. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Butt.
They met on Saturday before. They met
with our witness. And then the man came back.
They played the Kelsey, which Kelsey said 5 times in the stand. I lied throughout that entire recording. They still played it though, because she said she felt pressured by the police. So they're like, oh, did we pressure you? All right, let's play it to see. Which ended up screwing Tory. But was this played? Was this played in court? Because this is insane. This is crazy.
The gun, and the girl shoots into her. So the driver's door's open.
You're seeing the girl shoot?
Can I help you? Is it this house?
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So you see the girl doing the shooting?
I see what appears to be the girl standing here and shooting into the car. That's what it looked like to me. But it was dark, and I'm above, so. But then the guy gets out again from the back. Then the gun. And the girl shoots into her. So the driver's door's open.
You're seeing the girl shoot?
Can I help you?
That's wild. Tory wasn't even outside when they were fighting. Can't they get charged for lying? They said they never fought. We heard them say under oath, not we. Meg Thee Stallion said under oath that she did not get in a fight that day with Kelsey. The driver got out, but the smaller black man stayed in the vehicle the entire time. Did you tell us that when you looked at maybe the second or third gunshot, that's when you see Tory and he's in the front seat and he must have jumped over into the front seat and he's leaning over the door, over the window? Do you remember telling us that? Again, our interview was not 100% truthful. That's what I was telling you guys earlier. That she tried to say, remember, in the recording and Meg's story was that he went from the back seat to the front, over the window, and started shooting, yelling, "Dance, biatch, dance." Okay, in September, when you interviewed with us, it was not a blur, correct? Again, I said things to provoke myself that night. Okay, well, you said that day, you said it's a blur. You're trying to protect yourself, but you're telling us you don't see anything or you don't hear anything. It's a blur? Is that right? I mean, I didn't see anything, so. Sir Consul, keep saying about the gun touching the gun. You can't exclude Mr. Peterson, sir. Is there any evidence as you sit here that people can say that Mr. Peterson touched the gun? Yes or no? No. And is it that the same opinion that the LAPD criminalist has? That's correct. Sir, again, I'm going to ask you this hypothetically. Am I gonna leave out the fact that it's my gun if I pick up a gun from inside of a vehicle and I take that gun? I get out of the car, I shoot 5 times, I put that gun back in the car. Would you expect my DNA to be in that gun, sir? I would, yes. Is my client, Mr. Peterson's DNA on the gun, sir? Not that we can tell, no. I have no further questions. Remember, it came back inconclusive. Inconclusive, which a lot of people explained why that could have happened. With them not finishing the test, again, if you're running a DNA test and you stop the test midway and it doesn't get 100%, gonna read back as inconclusive. If they would have let that finish, they know for sure Tory's DNA wasn't on there. So it would have came back as no. DNA proves that Tory Lanez is innocent. A forensic expert testified 90% of the DNA on the gun, unknown male, not Tory. Tory DNA, 0% of the magazine and 0.01 on the gun. Basically nothing. Female DNA was found. If Tory fired 5 shots, his DNA would have been there. It's not. Kelsey had gunshot residue, but her DNA wasn't even tested. Come on, that shit would have came back 100 with Chelsea. Oh, and it gets worse. Tory's defense expert didn't even get the STR mix worksheet until the last minute, which constitutes a Brady violation. The prosecution used up the DNA samples so it couldn't be retested. This wasn't justice, it was rigged case. Medical facts don't match the narrative. 3 doctors, 3 stories, yet none testified in court. That's my whole thing. Why did none of those doctors, didn't she say that they pulled the bullets out and everything and she's gonna make a full recovery? Why didn't none of those doctors take the stand and say, yes, I was a doctor and I'm under oath and I did the surgery and I pulled the bullets out? Wouldn't that be very simple? Dr. LaForetto treated Megan first, diagnosed a laceration from broken glass and filled an official police report. 0 mention of gunshot wounds, bullet fragments, or ballistic trauma. Dr. 2, Little, performed surgery 12 hours later, claimed to remove 3 major fragments and diagnose superficial gunshot wounds, yet never reported his finding to law enforcement. Also, where were the bullet fragments? Remember, they were lost. They lost the evidence. Dr. Howe, a plastic surgeon, described the wounds as a superficial and cleanly closed. She treated Megan for infection, discharged her without mentioning ballistic trauma. The fragments went missing. Prosecutors claim LAPD had the bullet fragments, but Detective Ryan Stogner testified under oath at the preliminary hearing that the fragments were missing. Where are the fragments? They didn't exist. This contradiction exposes serious doubt about the integrity of the evidence. Now, the bullet fragments, which were allegedly removed from Megan's ankle, they can't be located, correct? Correct. And you reviewed the medical reports from Cedar, or at least some of them? Yes. Did you read the report that caused the finding superficial injuries? Yes. Nothing further. Injuries outside the foot. I feel like even if any bullets was shot and she was grazed, it was bullet fragments. A bullet hits the ground and that bullet's going to explode. Hot metal's going to go everywhere. Do we think Kelsey didn't shoot the weapon? I definitely believe she tried to shoot the weapon. For sure, for sure. And that's what made the cops go out there. Did she hit Meg? I don't believe so. I believe at most bullet fragments scratched or grazed her foot, and her stepping on the glasses would brought out that heavy bleeding. The evidence is clear. The narrative about Tory Lanez was built on lies, contradictions, and missing facts. No DNA, no bullet fragment, conflicting medical reports, conflicting testimony, eyewitness testimony ignored. A 10-year sentence for all that is not justice. Tory Lanez deserves a pardon. Free Tory Lanez. Let's check out the website too before we get out of here. Hold on. Didn't she have one? Oh yeah, 36 hours later. Sign the petition if you guys haven't already. I've already signed it. The truth uncovers pressed evidence proves Tory Lanez is innocent. For best viewing results, please turn your phone mobile and refresh the page if you're on mobile. It becomes clear that the fact comes to light. Key inconsistencies, unreliable testimony, and missing evidence prove Daystar Peterson, aka Tory Lanez, was convicted based on a flawed and incomplete narrative. Through Meg Pete's own words, police reports, and expert analysts, the facts suggest Tory Lanez did not fire the weapon and tried to stop the conflict. The case deserves to be reconsidered, and the evidence points to a different truth. Fact checklist. Megan told the police and doctors she stepped on glass and not shot. Video and officers confirm Megan stepped on glass bottle, not hit by the gunfire. Sean Kelly's testified. 2 women fought in the street. One fired first. Tory was still in the car. Kelsey tested positive of gunshot residue. Her DNA was never tested against the gun, which is crazy to me. If they tested her for gunshot residue and it's positive, why would you not test her against the gun? It sounds like you wanted this man to be guilty. Kelsey received free rent for a year after the shooting. Who paid and why? EJ said an object in the girl's luggage looked like a gun. Oh, so that luggage belonged to Kelsey. The reason there might be blood all over the suitcase now it makes sense. She's bleeding from her foot. She's getting her A-whip, and she's going through the suitcase trying to find a weapon. Tory Lanez's DNA was not found in the magazine. Only 0.01 on the gun. Statistically irrelevant. 90% of the DNA on the gun belonged to an unknown male, not Tory. Tory's jail call apology was about the drama of sleeping with 2 friends and not a shooting. Tory has reportedly said, "I would never do anything like this. I would never let it blame on a woman, dog." Like, he won't let it blame on a woman, dog. He even told us in a singing voice. No bullet fragments on x-rays. No nerve damage, fractures, or joint trauma in Megan's medical records. I forgot how many bones are in the foot, but I think your foot has like the most bones per ratio, like in a close proximity. She got shot, and not one bone was broken, not one nerve was damaged with that bullet ripping right through. Crazy to me. Bullet fragments were lost, never presented at trial. Prosecutor misused Tory's rap lyrics, tattoos, and uncharged allegations to sway the jury, which happens to people all around our community every single day, is why this case got me so mad. Because a lot of rappers, a lot of people that just live in communities and have tattoos that look a certain way are going to be looked at, and they're going to be trying to be painted a certain way to the jury. Kelsey's story changed multiple times. She admitted to lying under pressure. Megan's own timeline and injuries don't match the story of a shooting. Please note, Tory was not on probation at the time of the incident. He wasn't a felon, nor did he have a criminal record before the case. The owner of the gun has been sealed and has never been determined. We don't know who that 90% of the male's DNA is. It was sealed, which is crazy. Bottom line, the facts do not add up. The case against Tory Lanez is built on shifting stories, missing evidence, and lies. Tory Lanez did not shoot Megan. In her own words, "I ain't get cut by no glass," but let me tell you why they're saying that. Why are they saying that? Stepping into the truth. Let's see why they're saying that. We already watched all these videos, but you heard why they said it. Oh, is there more that we didn't see? No, we saw that. That just keeps replaying the same video. Oh, the cop calls it out right when it happened. Right when she steps out. Wow. Ooh, she cut herself. I can't have this on my image. Would she want a sob story of a man shot at her and a man tried to kill her because his music catalog is not as good as hers? Is what she tried to say, which I'm like, what? But let's not bring my personal bias and how much I love Tory's music in this. But that's not a little weird to you? I can't have this in my story. I can't have this in my story. Oh my God, oh my God. And she's scared that Tory's gonna say something. So she flips it to a woman empowerment story. It kills me, bro. Because there's women that really have gone through things in life, for sure. And they've went through situations like this. And my love is with you guys. If Tory, there was a lot of proof, like 100% proof that he shot her and we saw it and there was evidence, I would have locked the door myself. But we got to remember, people in our community every single day that looks like us, or if you have a child in the future, look at your son. This is something that he could be facing. Every evidence proves that he's innocent. This woman goes up there, gives the crocodile tears and says, "He shot me. I never cut myself. I'm only saying that because I was trying to protect him." Bro, we saw mad videos of you cutting yourself.
I get to the hospital, the police bitch being so rude to me. Well, what's going on? Like, da-da-da-da, you're being detained, da-da-da. Ma'am, I'm being detained, I'm leaking. But I'm still not saying what happened. Shit crazy.
So was she saying it because she didn't want to be detained? Okay, I'll finally tell you what happened. The little midget shot me. But what happened in the hospital? Why did Megan say happened in the hospital story? Police claim the police calmly spoke with Megan, who said she stepped on glass and mentioned she already had cuts on her right foot from stepping on glass days before. Oh, so she's just, that's why they call her Bigfoot. She's out here stepping on twigs, grass, and glass. Oh, all right. I had a cut on my right foot. I just stepped on glass the other day. Oh, shorty. In her own words, I try to keep it off the internet. However, Megan spoke first. Yeah, like that's crazy.
So, since y'all hoes so worried about it, yes, this nigga Tory shot me. You shot me. And you got your publicists and your people going to these blogs lying and shit. Stop lying. Why lie? I don't understand. I tried to keep the situation off the internet.
And remember, she was super tight at academics. She was acting like Tory was working with academics the whole time. However, Megan spoke first. Timeline contradicts Megan's claims. We already went through this timeline. In her own words, I never put my hands on anybody. Remember that. She kept sticking to that side of the story. She never fought Kelsey. That was the part that had me tight. On how they were even allowing that to go on their oath. And we've seen a witness, multiple people. Kelsey's up there telling you she fought.
I never put my hands on anybody. I never raised my voice too loud. Like, this was one of them times where it was like, it shouldn't have got this crazy.
It shouldn't have escalated to the way that it did.
So I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming, he said, dance, and he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he shot a couple of times.
What would have made her think about the dance, biatch dance? Like, why did that come to mind? Why did that little piece of evidence have to be added? Like, that's hilarious to me. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I never put my hands on anybody. She also told us she lied to Gayle King, because she also said she never slept with Tory Lanez. And then she tells us months later during the documentary, I lied to Gayle King. Yes, I lied. The only person that believed that you didn't sleep with Tory Lanez was Gayle King and Party Fontaine.
Yes, I lied to Gayle King. First of all, I ain't was even gonna ask me about that shit, but she's always want to talk about this shooting. Why'd you ask me about Tory? That's not what this is about. Even if I was, I nigga like once, maybe twice on a drunk night, but you kept catching me out of my mind.
But evidence says otherwise. Megan and Kelsey had a physical altercation. Eyewitness and physical evidence indicate a physical fight between Megan Pete and Kelsey Harris. Kelsey Harris had open wounds and cuts on her leg that were actively bleeding. No injuries were reported on Tory Lanez. The fight was between the women. Who was snitch? Oh yeah, remember that? Didn't Kelsey also drop a diss song to Megan like a week later or something? She had a chichong on her forehead. Look at Megan's forehead. Look at Megan's forehead. Who's a snitch? I never went to the police with no names. I thought a bitch that got her chain snatched caught a loss and had something to say. Ay. Chain that looks like it was lost with blood on it. Looks like it says Kelsey? It looks like it says Kelsey. Megan's song lyrics from the song Shots Fired. In her own words, there's a witness, and that witness' name is Sean Kelly.
The people in the neighborhood, there's a witness. When the police came, because the neighbors called the police.
Yeah, there was a witness that says you turned to Layla Ali. Sean Kelly's testimony. Eyewitness told Kelly later testified under the oath that he saw two women fighting, which we went over. Let's see if this is.
They shot out of the car?
The windows were open, that's why it sounded like either way. Yeah, I didn't really
they were on my side. The girl opened the door, two girls fighting, and then they shot. Okay. She got out of the car and crawled over.
Originally, his original statement didn't tag along to your story. Sean Kelly testified that two women were fighting and one of them fired the first few shots while Tory was still in the car while this was happening. He said Tory got out afterwards and tried to take away the gun. Sean Kelly's statement to the investigators, we heard both of these recordings. Sworn eyewitness, key witness corroborates Sean Kelly's story. Together, the statement of Smith, James, and Kelly paint a consistent picture. Two women were fighting. A woman fired the gun. Tory tried to de-escalate the situation, which is what I said without even being there. It's just what makes the most sense. EJ's testimony suggested his gun in girl's bag. EJ King, Megan's former stylist, said an object in her purse looked like a handgun. EJ said he may have seen things that looked like a gun in a bag or purse. He never asked questions or confirmed that they were. This adds to the reasonable doubt if Kelsey had the gun. There is a great possibility Tory cannot be the shooter. Very great possibility. Kelsey Harris initially told prosecutors she witnessed the shooting, but later recanted the story, admitting she lied under pressure. Her Fifth Amendment plea and contradictions compelled to introduce her prior statement in full, highlighting their unrelatability. Her credibility was compromised, raising reasonable doubt. Kelsey confirmed she was not bribed. Kelsey testified under oath that no bribery occurred. No financial records or contributions evidence support the bribery claim. Remember, they were saying that her rent was paid, all this and that. He is standing up over the window shooting, but he never touched the gun. Also, standing up over the window, nothing happened inside the vehicle.
In the car, shooting from the car, Megan? He is standing up over the window, shooting.
DNA proves Tory Lanez is innocent. Why would I lie? Oh, trying to protect yourself? You don't want it on your image?
You want me to be a bad person so bad, you want to believe the lie before you believe the truth.
This is the same person that said Tory Lanez is a demon. You leave me alone, Tory. He's a demon after getting stabbed 14 times in prison. Like, man, this nigga is near-death experience at the hospital, actually making a full recovery, 2 collapsed lungs. Not a superficial injury. Oh, hold on, this is new. I didn't see this one before. Text message evidence appears edited. Text message used in court different from the version shared publicly by Megan's team. Text and evidence. Alex with private gym. The address is there. Oh yeah, Woodrow Wilson, hella close. Just don't tell Alex we 10 minutes away from him. Laugh out loud. Shit. Alex is there like, oh, word. That's how we doing it? Okay. Security 101. Going with Farris to pick up another car. We'll be right back. Help. Tory shot Meg. 911. We were released an altered text message by Megan's team. Is crazy. Everything's the same until we get to help. Tory shot Meg and what? It's kind of blurry. And hurted me, 911. Missing phrases raise questions about whether evidence presented to the jury and now to the public or selectively edited or incomplete. That's crazy. That's crazy. Did he really say the dance, biatch, dance?
And all I hear is this man screaming. He said dance.
Audio undermines the dance, biatch claim. Now the public ring camera audio confirms the gunshots but does not capture Tory Lanez saying dance, biatch. At the same time, we see somebody's ring. Let's see. You don't hear the dance, biatch. They also ask questions. You could hear in the conversation, correct? Yeah. Quiet, clearly. Excuse me? Quiet, clearly. Quiet, clearly. But at the point, did you hear anybody say dance, biatch? No. When you got out of the car, did anybody say dance, biatch? Did you hear a word? Did anybody say dance, biatch? No. I don't know where that came from, so no. Kelly and Kelsey Harris testified that they do not hear Tory make that statement. Only Megan has claimed this, unsupported by any audio or witness. I thought the doctors were the police.
I get to the hospital, the doctors do x-rays on my feet. Oh, ma'am, you got bullets in your feet, got bullet fragments in your other foot. I'm thinking the doctors is the police, so I'm still trying not to tell them, like, nah, I didn't know I got shot. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared. Like, I've never been shot before.
I don't have to lie about it.
I know you've never been shot before. You still haven't. Which doctors, Megan? Because remember, they all spoke. No one speaks of this at all. The only one we saw was, what was it, Dr. Little? Said he removed 3 small fragments under general anesthesia and called the wound superficial, yet performed surgery. Claimed fragments were bagged and given to police. Other than that, both of these doctors here, nobody named it. And even him that named it. Superficial wounds. Radiology report. No foreign bodies, no bullet fragments clearly visible on x-ray. Estimated blood loss. Only 5 milliliters, far too low for gunshot wounds to both feet. Wound closure. Wounds were closed immediately. Uncommon for a gunshot wound due to infection risk. No bone or joint damage. Rare for true gunfire related foot injuries, what I was saying. You know how many bones you have in your foot and joints and nothing was damaged? Bullet fragments removed by Dr. Little but never preserved. Detectives admitted in court that the fragments were lost. That sounds a little bit weird to me, no? Much of this evidence was never presented at trial. Tory Lanez's original trial counsel joined the case late, limiting the defense's ability to investigate these medical inconsistencies. Spoke about that earlier. Megan's claims and medical records are on the 7th. You see, she went to the club with an ace bandage on her left foot, despite claiming to have been shot in both feet. Was there a lot of pain afterwards? Yes, I couldn't walk for a while, and I couldn't feel the side of my left foot. Did you have nerve damage? Yes, I still have nerve damage. And what do you mean by that? I can't really feel my left side of my foot. This is like a month and 3 weeks later. Nigga, not even. This shit like 3 weeks after. I forgot it happened July 20th, right? Yeah, it's not even a full month. Like 27 days since the incident. And based on your experiences, did you see anything that there was nerve damage or any of the fragments presented and touched the nerve or any of that effect or any of that? Did you see anything like that? We did not identify any nerve involvement on the left side. No further questions. There was no sign of nerve damage per the doctor's testimony, even though Megan insisted she suffered from nerve damage and can't feel the left side of my foot. Contrary to popular belief, Tory showed care and concern to Megan. Oh, I never saw that. Ooh, I never saw that. Body cam footage? Ooh, I never saw that. Body cam footage after arrest.
Address that the incident occurred, the shooting happened?
Nah, I don't know the address, bro. I was just trying to help my girlfriend. 1 second, bro.
Stay right here for me, bro. Hey, we got an ambulance coming for her, okay? Hey, bro, step up right here. We got an ambulance coming for her, all right?
Just a quick question.
It's gonna be good.
Do you have any injuries on you?
No, I don't.
Do you need an R?
I will come for your friend.
Called her his girlfriend for someone that allegedly only, what did Megan say? I only slept with him once or twice on a drunk night. Ooh, but the dude's calling you his girlfriend is kind of weird.
Do you want to talk about what happened tonight? Your girl to safety? Your girl to safety?
For somebody that wanted to kill Meg Thee Stallion and wanted to do physical harm, all he wanted to do was make sure she was good. What Tory really meant was, many have pointed to Tory Lanez's jail call as an admission of guilt in the shooting, but this is misrepresentation. Tory has publicly clarified that his apology was never about a shooting, but about the drama he caused by sleeping with 2 close friends and getting caught. Prosecutors intended to use Tory Lanez's rap lyrics, tattoos, unchanged prior. We already heard that. Mentioning Tory Lanez's choice to testify or not is protected constitutional right. That the fact that the defense does not testify on his own belief should not be fodder for the courts nor interpretation of guilt. Yeah, ASAP Rocky didn't take the stand. A lot of rappers, yeah, these dudes are rappers, bro. At the end of the day, they don't want to be considered rats. They don't want to go up there and be looked at funny in any type of way. Like they're giving us a little bit too much or they're speaking a little bit too much. But guys, what do you think about this evidence being released today? Is it as simple as Tory Lanez got out the car, started punching, kicking and punching, and started shooting? It never sat right with me. It never sat right with me since day one. And the more evidence we continue to see being released and stuff that was being hidden from the public, why? If it was so for sure that he did it and everything, why is evidence being messed with? Why is it that Tory Lanez been laughing at her? Why are they pushing the story like Tory Lanez is this ultra villain when we're seeing police? He's not even worried about what's happening with him. He's the only one in jail right now that I know of. He's the only one in jail that I know of because doesn't he call Kelsey the next day? So he's the one spending overnight in jail trying to get bailed out. And he's not even worried about himself. He's worried about what's going to happen with Meg Thee Stallion. Is my girl good? What's going on? Is her image good? Like that's what he's not worried about his own career, which to me, arguably, it's not even close. But what do you guys think about all this? Do you think it's as simple as that? Or does Tory Lanez deserve to be free after we went through all this evidence? If this didn't convince you, then I don't think nothing will. If this didn't convince you, this video alone, just me going over this with you, if this didn't convince you, with all the evidence we've been seeing prior months coming out and we threw a little bit in the editing, if none of that convinces you, then yeah, nah, you got something against the dot. You really just don't like Tory's music. But what I keep trying to say is this is bigger than music. This is bigger. This is about a black man that's in jail for charged for 10 years for something he did not do. If he would have did it and there was all this evidence was proving that he was guilty, bro, I would have been out there holding a sign. Lock the door. Send that boy back to the dot. Put that boy under the snow. That's not what we're seeing. That's not what we're seeing in front of us. Sub to the channel, guys. Comment down below. Please share your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about all this. All I want to say is sign the petition, please. Come to this 36 hours later. You can click this on the top. Sign the petition, please. And don't forget, guys, at 10,000 subscribers, we will be doing a giveaway. If Tory is freed, and he's not deported because this is, if you're pardoned, I don't think he'll be deported. It comes back to Miami. Oh, We gonna turn up another night. Like, we going crazy. I ain't even gonna lie to you. We going crazy. Sub up. Please share your thoughts down below.